Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Justice for All Lives Matter. I'm sorry that I've been away for a while. I'm been fighting a cold, which I'm still going through right now. You would have to mind if well, you would have to excuse me. I mean, my voice was just, if you don't mind, it's a little raspy in the throat. But I'm going to deliver to you the news today because the news is very interesting. There's a lot that's been happening. A lot that's been happening over this past week. One thing is that both presidential candidates they are locking up their primaries. Okay, Donald Trump has he has once again, mm, yep, won the Michigan primary. You know, it's over Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley was a front runner, but he sealed it for more than 20 votes. I'm actually thinking might be a good idea to have like a whole, Trump, Nikki Haley, Donald Trump as president, Nikki Haley as vice president, or even maybe Nikki Haley as president and Donald Trump as vice president. Something about, and of course Biden has sealed up Michigan, and he's well on his way to getting his party's nomination, which I like he even needs it. But anyway, yeah, they've sealed up the primaries, and they're on their way to they're on their way to getting the electoral votes they need. Come the primaries, it's gonna be about mid March when Trump wraps up his, and by the end of March when Biden wraps up his. The former drug lord Mancuso. I mean, like this is like well, more like a drug lord, more like a warlord. The former warlord Mancuso is now well, he's been sent to Colombia, and he's been serving a drug sentence in the U.S. Yeah, he was sentenced to prison in 2015, and it was well in 2015 he had guided more than 130 tons of cocaine to the U.S. soil, and he had used the money in order to you know buy guns. What else can you do a lot more than buy guns? So the idea of like him being a drug lord is kind of complicated when you like use all the money you make from drugs to buy guns so that you make yourself into a very powerful figure in order to yeah uh, buy more drugs. I mean sell more drugs. He's nuts. Anyway, well, he had a 12-year sentence in 2020 that he had completed. He had completed his 12-year sentence in 2020, and he was being held at an immigration detention center for the past 3 years because they had no idea where to put him. And here's a great idea. The guy, he's partly Italian, okay, and he had grown up to a wealthy family. This guy has grown up to a huge amount of money, like a lot of money, because his family were cattle ranchers, okay, and he this whole cattle ranching business they had going on had made them a tidy fortune. So because he was sick and tired of the wealthy business of like cattle ranching, he decided it'll be more interesting in becoming a warlord. I don't know. But this happens so often. Osama bin Laden, he used to be he used to be a business mogul. I don't know. It's rich people and their money. They get bored. Madonna has been doing an age tribute, and her age tribute is wonderful. She has a picture in her age tribute of Luther Vandross, and as we well know, we lost Luther Vandross. We lost him many decades ago, and it's touching. It's very touching. Problem is Luther Vandross. Yeah, he never had AIDS. He never had AIDS. He died of heart disease. At the behest of his family. Because like Madonna, she was just like, I just want to honor Luther and his family. They're just like, no, you're not going to do that. You're not going to honor Luther by putting him in your age tribute. And she's like, yeah, but this is like to honor him. And they're like, no, it's a tribute for people who have AIDS. And she included Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross was one of Madonna's favorites. I think he was one of all of our favorites. I love Luther Vandross myself. And as you well know, somewhere they said that the number one cause of death of African Americans is the police. The number one cause of death of African Americans is and always will be heart disease. Okay? And, well, what did Luther Vandross die of? I don't know. I think, like, like a while ago, he just may have died of heart disease, And if you were to, like, I don't know, do a little bit of research, you would find that he passed away from complications of a stroke, that he had suffered in 2003, and he passed away in 2005, 2 years later. But yeah, so the number one cause of death of African Americans is and always will continue to be heart disease. I mean, I don't know why people thought it was police. It was just hilarious. And I'm like, I hope nobody actually thought that, because that'd be ridiculous. I mean, like, can you imagine what would happen if people thought that the number one cause of death of African Americans was police? I mean, they'd probably lose their minds, Yeah, it's heart disease. Instead of marching for, defunding the police, you should probably try to defund KFC. Just saying. Yeah. Anyways, or probably work to fund vegan options. I heard that KFC's veggie chicken is good. Popeye's veggie chicken also good. They didn't want to bring it out, but I heard it was great. They tried it for a little while. Delicious. We have to get them to bring back the veggie chicken, and we have to stop the senseless death of African Americans. Thank you. Anyways, next up. Well, and a little bit of like funny news, not too funny. Lieutenant Governor Winsome, she has a habit of making ladies feel uncomfortable. There's just something about Lieutenant Governor Winsome that people just don't feel. I don't want to scare her, but she's a nice lady. She's a nice lady. She's a decent lady. Well, she just recently got into a little bit of a beef with with the state senator. It was state senator Danica Roem. Yeah. Well, she upset Danica Roem when she had called her sir. Yes. And Danica Roem, she's a transgendered state senator. I have in the past many times looked at a guy and I was like, when are you due? And this handsome young devil with his long hair and his beer belly said, "What are you talking about, man?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I thought you were pregnant." He's like, "I'm not even a chick." Oh my God. And that was hilarious.
The senator may state it.
Madam President, how many votes would it take to pass this bill with the emergency clause?
That would be 4/5, Senator.
And what would be the exact number for that, Madam President?
Yes, sir. That would be 32. The question is, shall the bill pass?
Lieutenant Governor Winsome is actually the first African American female to be elected to her position in that district, and in that area. And also, she's a retired United States Marine. Thank you for your service, ma'am. This hardcore woman had no problem giving a formal apology.
I said something that upset Senator Roem. Let it be known, I am not here to upset anyone. I am here to do the job that the people of Virginia have called me to do, and that is to treat everyone with respect and dignity. I myself have at times not been afforded that same respect and dignity. But in this body, and as long as I am president of the Senate, and by the grace of God, I will be treated with respect and dignity, and I will treat everyone else with respect and dignity. I have called people not by their names, but by everyone else's names. Indeed, I have just put the Senate at ease in the name of the House. It is never my intention to make anyone offended, and I hope that others would consider that they would try not to offend me as well.
And as if the news could not get weird enough, a Mafia hitman poisoned the priest Chalice because the priest had a problem with organized crime. Holy cow. And it's the Reverend Felice Palomara, who was known for bravely denouncing organized crime, went to go take a sip of his wine and was like, something smells funny. It turned out there was bleach in the wine, and he couldn't drink it. So they had to cancel services, and the police were called. And it turned out that the person responsible was a crime boss. You know, priests shouldn't talk about organized crime. I think priests should talk about I don't know, God, being holy, avoiding sin, avoiding temptation, avoiding lots and lots of vices like I don't know, drugs, crap. Now I'm doing it anyway. But yeah, that's a big save for them. Thank God no one was hurt. And I hope this priest can find it in his heart to give forgiveness to this mafia boss who was trying to kill him, and I'm sure he probably already did. In grand, Italiano fashion. This occurred in Rome, so automatically, it'll be like a mafia boss slaps a priest. Priest looks at the mafia boss and goes, "It is okay, I forgive you." Like, it's the nature of things. So things worked out. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Justice for All Lives Matter. I will be bringing you more content shortly. Please tune in and don't forget to subscribe.